Hello mga sisi! Welcome back to my channel. Now before we start, please don't forget to subscribe to Ruti and Stitch, like our videos, and if you have any requests or question, just leave a message on the comment box below. So today ang gagawin natin ay ang Beauty and the Beast baby outfit for baby boy. So ito ang mga materials na kailangan natin. Now to start, we're going to use the blue yarn, make a slip knot, and make 50 chains, 50 foundation chains. Now, yung 50 foundation chain, yun yung magiging back part ng ating coat. So, to start, for the first row, chain 2. And then, third chain from the hook. Make 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang sa pinakadulo ng row 1. So, you would have a total of 50 double crochet on your first row. Now, to start our second row, up until row 12, gagawin natin chain 2, turn, and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang sa dulo ng ating row. So again, that's from row 2 to row 12. Now, once nagawa na natin, tapos natin yung row 12, for row 13, we're going to turn and then skip the first stitch. On the second stitch of the row, make a single crochet and then chain 1, and then on the next stitches, 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang sa dulo ng ating row. So, uulitin natin tong pattern na to hanggang maabot natin yung row 19. So, ngayon na meron na tayong 19 rows para sa back part, ilalak na lang natin to and then cut the excess yarn. So, ang isusunod natin gagawin ay yung front part ng ating coat. Make a slip knot ulit. And this time, 20 foundation chain ang gagawin natin. So, once na natapos natin yung 20 foundation chain, to start, for our first row, mag-chain 2 tayo. And then again, starting from the third chain from your hook, make 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang sa dulo ng ating first row. So, gagawin natin yan ang pinaka sa dulo ng ating row 1. So, once natapos natin ang ating first row, we're going to start our second row. So, we're going to chain 2, turn, and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang sa pinakadulo ng ating row. So, uulitin natin tong same pattern na to hanggang matapos natin yung row 8. So, for row 9, ang gagawin natin, turn, skip the first stitch, on the second stitch of the row, make a single crochet, and then chain 1. Make 1 double crochet on each stitch until the end of the row. And then, for row 10, ang gagawin natin, mag-chain 2 tayo to start. Turn. And then, make 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang sa pinakadulo ng row. So, again, para sa row 9, nag-decrease tayo sa start ng ating row. Now, for row 10, hindi tayo magdi-decrease. Now, ulitin lang natin for row 11 ang ginawa natin sa row 9. And then, for row 12, ulitin lang natin ang ginawa natin sa row 10. Now, to start row 13, we're going to turn. And then, skip the first stitch, make 1 single crochet on the next stitch. Actually, this would be skip the first stitch, make a single crochet on the next stitch, then chain 1, tapos 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang sa pinakadulo. So, ulitin natin to hanggang row 16. So, for row 13 to row 16, mag-decrease lang tayo sa start ng ating row. Now, for row 17, so, ginagawa pa rin natin dito yung pattern na to. Okay? So, pag narating na natin yung row 17, ang magiging pattern natin ay chain 2, turn, and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch until the end of the row. So, from row 17 to row 19, hindi na tayo magdi-decrease, mag-stop na tayo mag-decrease, and same number ng double crochet na lang for each row. So, tapos na natin yung ating 19 row dito. Yan na yung ating front part. So, gagawa tayo ng isa pang piece ng same pattern. At pag nagawa na natin yung second piece with the same pattern, i-attach na natin siya doon sa may shoulder side at saka doon sa pinaka-side ng ating coat. So, pwede nating idikit yan o i-attach natin using single crochet, o better yet, you can just use a needle and then stitch natin doon sa side. Tsaka doon sa top. Yan, dyan. So, once na-attach na natin sila, ang gagawin naman natin ay yung edging. So, mag-clean muna natin yung edging ng ating sa neckline mula doon sa front side. Ang gagawin lang natin, magsi-single crochet tayo mula doon sa pinakababa sa unahan, sa gitna sa unahan, and then towards the other side sa unahan. So, paikot yan. Magsi-single crochet lang tayo around para malinis natin yung neckline. So, ganyan lang gagawin natin, paikot. So, mula dyan, paikot dyan sa may neckline, pababa doon sa kabilang side. Now, once na natapos na natin yan, of course, we're going to lock and then cut the excess yarn. Now, ang susunod natin gagawin ay yung pinaka-shoulder naman. So, para sa shoulder, Magagawa ulit tayo ng slip knot. And then, gaya ng ginawa natin dun sa neckline, magsi-single crochet lang tayo around doon sa ating manggas o armhole. So, paikot lang yan. Lalagyan lang natin ng single crochet all around doon sa ating armhole. So, pag natapos na natin yung paikot na yon, idudugtong natin yung dalawang end, make a slip stitch doon sa pinaka first na single crochet na ginawa natin, dugtong. Now, ididiretso na natin to sa sleeves. Gagawin natin to start is we're going to chain 2 and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch, paikot ng ating armhole. So, pagkatapos natin matapos yung double crochet, para sa first row na ating sleeve, idudugtong lang natin ulit siya using a slip stitch dun sa pinaka first double crochet ng row. Now, to start the row 2, actually this would be row 1 to row 4. Same pattern lang, 1 single crochet on each stitch and then pagdugtungin sa dulo pagkatapos. So, after ng row 4, to start row 5, this is optional. If you want, you can use or you can just keep the same number of stitches, or like this, you can decrease. So, naggawa ako ng alternate pattern here. What I do instead is make so for row 5, naglagay ako ng 1 double crochet on each stitch for the first 2 stitches, and then on the third stitch, magdi-decrease kayo. So, gagawin yan lang yan paikot ng buong row 5, and then row 6, chain 2, and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch, and then join it. Pagkatapos nun, kailangan lang natin magkaroon ng 15 rows para matapos yung ating sleeves. Sorry, medyo mabilis yung video natin dito sa part na to, pero i-pause nyo na lang, okay? Now, we're going to do the vest for the coat. Use the yellow yarn, make a slip knot, and then i-attach natin doon sa unahan. Gaya niyan. And then chain 2 to start. And then make 1 double crochet on each stitch doon sa first 8 rows ng ating front side. So, kung makikita nyo dito, di ba, naalala nyo yung ating front side, may first 8 rows. So, yun lang lalagyan natin ng 1 double crochet on each stitch using the yellow yarn. So, hanggang dyan sa pinakadulo. So, after ng first row ng yellow, we're going to just chain 2, turn, and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang marating natin yung row 6. So, this will serve as yung part na vest ng ating coat. Pero, i-attach na natin siya doon sa ating coat itself. Ayan. So, 1 double crochet on each stitch lang yan. Now, natapos na natin yung ating 6th rows. So, ang gagawin lang natin ay yung edging. So, we're going to chain 1 and then turn and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch. And gagawin natin to paikot ng ating yellow part para malinis na rin natin yung edging. Now, once na natapos na natin yan, we're going to just lock and cut the excess yarn. So, gagawin lang din natin yan dun sa kabilang side. So, gagawin naman natin ngayon ay yung pinaka-collar. Make a slip knot using the blue yarn. And then, slip stitch natin doon sa pinakadulo ng neckline, pero doon lang sa back loop. Pero kung nahihirapan naman kayong back loop, okay lang din na on both loops. So, chain 2 to start our collar. And then, make 1 double crochet on each stitch just using the back loop all around doon sa neckline. So, paikot ng neckline hanggang makarating tayo dun sa kabilang side kung saan nagtatapos yung vest o nagsastart yung vest na yellow. Lalagay natin yung 1 double crochet on each stitch. Yan, kung makikita nyo sa back loop lang ako naglagay ng stitch hanggang dito dun sa dulo. So, nagawa na natin yung first row natin. Now, to start our second row for our collar, we're going to chain 2, turn, and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch using both loops. So, paikot ulit yan hanggang makarating sa kabilang side at gagawin natin to hanggang matapos natin ang row 5. Now, once natapos na natin yung row 5, yan, natapos na natin ang row 5, kailangan na nating i-lock and then cut the excess yarn. So, almost nakikita na natin yung itsura ng ating coat. Now, balikan natin yung yellow na ating yarn. Mag-slip knot kayo and then slip stitch nyo doon sa pinaka-start ng ating collar. Ang ginagawa lang natin dito ay kiniklin natin yung edging. And we're just doing single crochet all around dun sa ating collar. So, hindi ko na pinakita kung paano kayo gumawa ng slip stitch or slip knot and slip stitch dun sa pinaka-collar. I'm sure alam niyo na kung paano i-attach yan. Okay? So, paikot lang yan. Lalagyan lang natin ng edging na yellow yung ating collar. Now, once natapos na yan, lalagyan natin ng ruffles yung ating collar. So, chain 2, turn, and then you have to put 3 half double crochet on each stitch. So, sorry, dito sa pinaka written pattern nalagay ko double crochet, but this would be 3 half double crochet on each stitch. This will create a scallop doon sa ating collar. So, gagawin lang natin yan, paikot ng ating collar para magkaroon tayo ng design, ha? hanggang marating natin yung pinaka-kabilang dulo. So, natapos na natin yung ating ruffles o scallop doon sa ating collar. Pag natapos na natin yan, ilalak lang natin and then cut the excess yarn. Now, gagawin lang din natin yung same pattern doon sa ating sleeves. So, again, doon sa sleeves, kung gusto nyo, huwag na kayong mag-decrease doon sa ating sleeve or doon sa 5th row, mag-decrease kayo and then after row 5, mula row 6 hanggang row 15, 1 double crochet on each stitch lang yon. Okay? And then, yan, pagkatapos nun, pwede nyo nang gawin yung scallop o ruffles doon sa inyong sleeves as well. So, pag natapos na, idugtong lang yung dalawang end using a slip stitch and then lock and cut the excess yarn. So, ngayon gagawin natin yung tail ng ating coat. So, make a slip knot, slip stitch natin doon sa pinaka dulo or bottom part ng ating coat and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang marating natin yung pinaka dulo. So, for this row, magkakaroon tayo ng total of 50 double crochet. Or not 50 kasi 50 yung likod, 20 yung both side na unahan. So, total of around 90 stitches yan. Hanggang marating natin yung kabilang side. So, for the second row ng ating tail, gagawin natin ay magdi-decrease tayo sa start at end ng ating row. So, sa start, we're going to skip the first stitch, single crochet on the next stitch, and then chain 1, and then double crochet on the next stitches up until the end, except doon sa last 2 stitches na ating row, which is magdi-decrease tayo o maglalagay tayo ng 2 double crochet together. So, ulitin lang natin tong same pattern na to hanggang marating natin yung row 15. So, kung makikita nyo, paslant na yung start at saka end ng ating each row. So, para magkaroon tayo ng tail doon sa ating coat. So, after nyan, lalagyan lang natin ng single crochet yung edging ng ating coat. Yun yung tail part. Ayan. So, ito tayo magiging finished product. Now, we're going to start with our bib. So, make a slip knot using the white yarn and then mag-chain 20 tayo. So, after 20 chains, magsa-start tayo ng half double crochet on each stitch for the first row. Actually, maglalagay tayo ng chain 2 muna for first row and then 1 half double crochet on each stitch hanggang makarating ng dulo. So, magkakaroon pa rin tayo ng total of 20 half double crochet. And then, ulitin lang natin yan sa row 2 hanggang magkaroon tayo ng row 10 or up to row 10. But this time, ang gagawin natin ay sa back loop lang tayo maglalagay ng stitch. Back loop only, that's chain 2, turn, and then make 1 half double crochet on each stitch, but just using the back loop. So, ganyan ang mangyayari pag natapos na natin yung 10 rows. Ito. Yan. Total of 10 rows yan. So, after ng row 10, gagawin natin chain 1 and then isi-single crochet natin yung edging. Maglalagay tayo ng single crochet doon sa 3 sides. So, 1, 2, 3. So, 3 sides niyan. And then after that, we're going to make the ribbon o yung magiging lace natin na pantali sa leeg. Chain 50. After 50 chains, magsi-slip stitch lang tayo pabalik doon sa pinaka first chain na ginawa natin para medyo kumapal yung ating lace. So, pababa, mag-slip stitch lang tayo hanggang marating natin yung pinakadulo. And then, once narating natin yung pinakadulo, isi-single crochet natin yung edging nung last side ng ating square. And then, gagawa ulit tayo ng lace doon sa kabilang part. So, single crochet lang natin yan, pabalik doon sa kabilang side. Now, 50 chain ulit, and then slip stitch ulit pabalik after. Ngayon, natapos na natin yung pinaka-lace doon sa kabilang side. So, meron na tayong dalawang lace. So, gagawin na natin yung design, ruffles. So, we're going to chain 2. And then, maglalagay lang tayo ng 3 double crochet on each stitch. Actually, dito sa part na to, naglagay lang tayo ng 2 double crochet on each stitch para doon sa ruffles. So, gagawin natin yan hanggang doon sa third dulo ng pinaka third side ng ating bib. So, once na nagawa na natin yan, we're going to work on the remaining front loop na natira doon sa mga rows na ginawa natin. So, si-slip stitch natin yan para makarating tayo doon sa naka-emboss na front loop. Yan. So, what you can do is you can fold it like this. And then, chain 1 or chain 2 kung gusto nyo. And then, continue working on the front loop with 2 double crochet on each stitch. So, ganyan. So, ulitin nyo lang yung same pattern na yan doon sa lahat ng front loop doon sa loob ng ating bib. So, ulitin lang natin yan. Paikot, paganyan. So, hanggang makumpleto natin yung lahat ng natitirang front loop. So, ganyan ang mangyayari. Now, we're going to do the pants. This time, yung black yarn naman gamitin natin. Make a slip knot and then chain 12. After ng chain 12, make a double crochet, 1 double crochet on each stitch, starting on the third chain from your hook. So, magkakaroon tayo ng total of 10 double crochet. after row 1, for row 2, up to row 43, ang gagawin lang natin ay chain 2, turn, and then make 1 half double crochet on each stitch but only on the back loop. So, importante na back loop lang yung lalagyan natin dito. Bakit? Kasi ito yung magiging waistband natin. So, that's just 1 double crochet on each stitch using just the back loop. So, yan. Pinapakita ko lang dyan back loop kasi black hindi natin masyado makita sa video. Pero back loop lang yung nilalagyan ko dyan ng stitch. Now, once na natapos na natin yung 43 rows, which is our waistband, pagdudugtungin na lang natin yung dalawang side using a needle. So, lock and cut the excess yarn but leave enough tail para ma-stitch natin using the needle yung ends. Okay? So, cut na natin yung excess yarn. And then, meron na tayong waistband. And then, i-stitch lang natin together yan using the needle. Yan. Hindi ko napapakita ha, kasi medyo madilim din, hindi nyo makikita. And I'm sure alam nyo na kung paano yung gagawin. So, yan na yung ating waistband. Now, gagawin na natin yung ating pants. So, make another slip knot. And then, slip stitch natin dun sa pinaka-waistband natin. So, what you would need to do is just to start slip stitch sa ating waistband. And then chain 2. So after chain 2, maglalagay lang tayo ng 2 double crochet on each row ng ating waistband. So, for each row, maglalagay tayong 2 double crochet. Okay? Paikot yan ng ating waistband. Now, once na natapos na, idudugtong natin dun sa dulo. So, natapos na natin yung ating first row. And then, what you will need to do is just make a slip stitch on top of the first double crochet. Yan. So, nadugtong na natin siya from row 2 to row 8. Ang gagawin natin pattern ay chain 2 and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch hanggang sa pinakadulo. Then, idudugtong doon sa first double crochet. Pag natapos na, make a slip stitch para idugtong yung dalawang ends. So, once na natapos na natin yung row 8, gagawin na natin yung crotch part o yung pundilyo. What we're going to do is we're going to chain 8. And then, hahanapin na natin yung pinakagitna ng ating stitch. So, for this pattern, nagbilang ako ng 43 stitches. And then, doon sa ika-43rd na stitch, ini-slip stitch ko yung aking 8 chain. So, ganyan ang mangyayari. Pero, hanapin nyo lang yung middle stitch ng ating pants. Doon tayo maglalagay ng crochet. Okay? So, once you're done, we're going to start with our leg. So, we're going to do it one at a time, yung ating leg. So, we're going to chain 2 and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch, paikot doon sa first leg ng ating pants. So, which mean maglalagay tayo ng stitch doon sa chain 8 na ginawa natin, and then i-connect natin using a slip stitch doon sa first double crochet. So, makita nyo dito, doon din sa chain, naglagay ako ng 1 double crochet on each stitch. So, once natapos na natin yung ating first row, yan, katulad ng sinabi ko, ikunanek ko lang yung pinakadulo using a slip stitch. And then, uulitin lang natin yung same pattern from row 2 to row 14. Or kung gusto nyo mas mahaba, you can add additional rows hanggang marating nyo yung pinaka-desired na haba ng inyong pants. So, after row 14, gagawin ko na yung pinaka-edging ng ating legs or na ating first leg. So, chain 1 to start and then make 1 single crochet on each stitch around doon sa ating leg. And then, pag natapos na, i-connect ulit natin using a slip stitch doon sa first stitch ng ating row. Now, natapos na natin yung ating single crochet around. So, i-connect na natin yung ends using a slip stitch. And then, once done, just have to lock and cut the excess yarn. Now, once natapos natin yung first legs, of course, we're going to just repeat the same pattern doon sa kabilang side. And then, gumawa lang ako ng chain, mga 150 chains to make a belt para sa ating pants. And then, insert ko lang doon sa pinaka-waist. So, tapos na yung ating pants, gagawin naman natin yung ating headpiece o yung beanie. So, this time, brown yarn naman ang gagamitin natin. So, make a slip knot and then chain 3. Now, after that, make 12 double crochet on the first chain na ginawa nyo. So, dun sa 3 chains, okay, ang gagawin nyo doon sa pinakaunang chain na ginawa, maglalagay tayo ng 12 double crochet. So, this way, hindi na natin kailangan gumawa ng magic ring. So, once na natapos na natin yung ating first row ng 12 double crochet, idudugtong lang natin yung dalawang end using a slip stitch. So, slip stitch on top of the first double crochet. for the row. Ayan, na-connect na natin siya. Now, for second row, mag-i-increase tayo sa bawat stitch, meaning maglalagay tayo ng 2 double crochet on each stitch. And then, after matapos natin yung 2 double crochet on each stitch, idudugtong lang ulit natin using a slip stitch on top of the first double crochet. Now, for the third row, we're going to chain 2, and then this time, we're going to make 2 double crochet on the first stitch, and then dun sa second stitch, maglalagay tayo ng 1 double crochet lang. And then, on the next, 2 double crochet ulit. So, bale dun sa ating third row, maglalagay tayo ng alternate ng 2 double crochet on each stitch, and then next stitch would be 1 double crochet. So, paikot yan hanggang marating natin yung pinakadulo, and then connect lang ulit using a slip stitch on top of the first double crochet. Now, for row 4, ang gagawin natin ay, this time, ang magiging interval ay 2 double crochet on the next 2 stitches. So, meaning, chain 2, and then, on the first double crochet or first stitch, make 2 double crochet, and then on the next 2 stitches, that's 1 double crochet on each stitch, and then paikot yan. So, meaning, after every 2 stitches, mag-de-increase tayo ng double crochet. I hope it makes sense. So, sana naintindihan niyo yung ibig kong sabihin. So, after matapos natin ng row 4, mag-slip stitch lang ulit tayo sa dulo to connect the ends. Now, for row 5, ang interval naman natin ay 3 double crochet on the next 3 stitches. And then, for row 6, hindi na tayo mag-i-increase. So, stop na tayo na increase ng row 5. Sukatin nyo yung diameter. Kung na-reach nyo na yung inyong desired length para sa diameter, magsa-stop na tayo mag-increase. So, this time, we're going to chain 2, and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch, paikot ng ating rounds. So, paikot yan, 1 double crochet on each stitch. Now, pag natapos na, connect ulit using a slip stitch. Natapos na natin yung round na to, connect na natin. Actually, hindi pala natin i-connect, sorry. Mag-stop na tayo, hindi na tayo mag-connect. So, after row 6, or on row 6, we're not going to connect after. So, we're going to chain 2 for row 7 to row 13. That's chain 2, turn, and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch, pero this time doon lang tayo sa back loop maglalagay ng stitch. Okay? So medyo na-confused din ako. dito sa pattern na ginawa ko. So, for row 6 and row 7, that's 1 double crochet on each stitch, pero hindi na ako nag-connect sa pinakadulo. Same with row 8 to row 13, but from row 8 to row 13, sa back loop lang tayo magsistitch. So, after row 13, starting row 14, we're going to chain 1. And then turn. Doon tayo sa side. Make single crochet doon sa edging. Papunta doon sa unahan ng ating bini. So, single crochet natin yan hanggang makarating din sa pinaka-kabilang side. So, after nating ma-single crochet yung unahan, gagawin na natin yung lace ng ating bini. So, we're going to chain 75. So, after ng 75 chains, magsi-slip stitch lang ulit tayo pabalik para makarating tayo doon sa first chain na ginawa natin. This way, magiging thicker yung ating lace. Now, once na-complete na natin yan, nandun tayo sa pinaka-first chain natin, itutuloy lang ulit natin yung ating single crochet around the edging. So, pababa na yan doon sa likod. Single crochet natin yan hanggang makarating tayo ulit doon sa pinakaunahan. Now, after nyan, nandito na tayo sa pinakakabilang side. Unahan na ulit. Gagawin ulit natin yung ginawa nating pattern para doon sa lace. So, yung 75 chain, so, kung gusto nyo mas mahaba, pwede kayo magdagdag ng chain doon. Okay? So, once na natapos na yon, ilalak lang and then cut the excess yarn. So, tapos na natin yung bini natin. Maglalagay lang tayo ng additional design. So, doon sa pinaka first front loop na natira, doon sa unahan, maglalagay tayo ng design. So, ipo-fold yung ganyan para mas makita niyo yung front loop. And then, slip stitch natin yung ating slip knot. So, after that, mag-chain 2 tayo. And then, maglalagay lang tayo ng ruffles using double crochet. So, maglalagay tayo ng 3 double crochet on each stitch doon sa front loop na natitira. So, just for this row though. So, that's actually 2 double crochet on each stitch. Sorry, medyo nalilito ako doon sa ating ruffles. Nalimutan ko na to. So, again, that's 2 double crochet on each stitch para doon sa ating bini. Doon sa ruffles na ating bini, paikot hanggang makarating tayo doon sa dulo. So, ganyan mga itsura niya. Now, once you're done, just lock. And actually, gagawa pa tayo ng second row. But if you want, you can just keep it with just 1 row of ruffles, or you can do this. So chain 2, turn, and then make 2 double crochet on each stitch doon sa ating ruffles. Double crochet or 3 double crochet. Kung mas gusto nyo mas ma-ruffles, then 3 double crochet. But you can also use it for 2 double crochet if you wish. So, after nating matapos yan, ilock na natin and cut the excess yarn. Now, naglagay din ako ng konting tail doon sa pinakadulo kasi diba si Beast parang merong braid sa likod na natitira. So, kuha kayo ng ilang piece ng yarn and then ibugol lang natin dun sa pinaka back part ng ating beanie. And i-braid natin. Now, lalagyan natin ng simple ribbon lang dun sa pinakalikod. So, gamit kayo ng blue yarn, make a slip knot, and then chain 12. Starting from the third chain from your hook, make 1 double crochet on each stitch. Hanggang makarating dun sa dulo. So that would be a total of 10 double crochet. Now after that, you're going to chain 2, turn, and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch. Uulitin natin tong same pattern na to hanggang magkaroon tayo ng 3 rows in total. So once you're done with the 3 rows, you're going to lock and cut the excess yarn. Then after that, kuha kayo ng piece of yarn and then ibubuhol natin doon sa pinakagitnang part para mag-form tayo ng maliit na ribbon. And then you just wrap it around doon sa middle part. Ganyan. At i-attach natin doon sa pinakalikod na braid. So, yan na yung ating headpiece. Kung makikita nyo, yan yung magiging buhok ni Beast. Now, I also made a shoe pattern, but I made a separate tutorial for that. You can check it out. Okay? So, ito na ang ating Beast pattern. I hope you like it. So, gagawa pa tayo ng iba pang tutorial for baby boys. But, yes, for now, enjoy and I hope you enjoy this video and find it helpful. So, kung medyo mabilis para sa inyo, you can always pause. By the way, nag-attach din ako ng 4 buttons. So, kung makikita nyo yan, natatanggal yan. So, you can choose shiny na buttons para medyo mas maganda siya sa unahan. Okay? But, yes. So, natapos na natin yung ating tutorial. I hope you like this video. And if you have any questions or any requests, just leave a message on the comment box below. Okay? You can also follow me on my Instagram account, Ruthie and Stitch. And I also have a Facebook page, that's Ruthie and Stitch. I'll put the link on this video. Okay? So, thank you again And please don't forget to subscribe to Ruthie and Stitch. Like our videos. If you have any questions or any requests, just leave a message on the comment box below. By the way, ito nga pala yung picture ng shoes na partner nitong tutorial.